Well, good morning, good people. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. I hope everybody's having a great day. I'm going to be working actually outside today. I got a chicken run I got to make, and I've got to set about 20 posts. They want it 24 by 100. I'm like, how many chickens you planning on having? You know, I was like, I've calculated out, that's enough space for 2,000 chickens. I'm like, what the hell? But whatever you want. So I'm headed out in the country here to do that. The weather's fantastic, and I need the exercise, without a doubt. I got to get my ass in gear and start getting myself in better shape. We do have good news as far as injury front for the Cowboys. And we also have Jerry Jones kind of throwing some shade on Diggs. Let's recap this thing. You might remember last year where Diggs, after a game, was on Twitter going after a reporter who said that Diggs kind of didn't really put forth full effort. And then you kind of find out, weeks later, that his knee, that there's issues with it. And what it was he did not go all out, or it didn't look like he was trying to get in, stick his nose in to make a tackle and get this guy. And the reason behind it may have been is his leg was not completely healed. And what had happened was we had heard rumors that the organization wasn't happy with his work ethics on trying to get that leg healed. And so you had the Cowboys organization that was kind of like, you kind of half-ass getting yourself ready. And, you got that contract that we paid you and everything else, and we need you to be right, and it wasn't quite right. So yesterday, Jerry Jones was giving an update on our injury front. Okay, now we've all seen Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb, and they're becoming the power couple right now. They are working their ass off together to become the best players that they can be. And if you don't think that Dak Prescott isn't busting his ass, you see there's not an ounce of fat on him. He has resculpted his body. He is rehabbed to the nth degree. And him and CeeDee Lamb are constantly working out together and trying to get that repertoire and become the best they can be. Dak will be doing work at OTAs. That his recovery is great, no problems, unless there's a setback, and we don't anticipate one. Unless there's a setback, Dak Prescott will be good to go for OTAs. Fantastic news. Sam Williams, and we were talking about Sam Williams. I kind of gave that update, of course, yesterday, and I want to start the week off with that as well. All these damn data centers, good God, they're huge. Sam Williams will be doing some work at OTAs and is expected to have a full recovery by the time training camp opens. And that's a great thing because that gives us another edge rusher. You may recall, as everybody talks about how much Dak Prescott sucked, that our defense was so bad that in 2 games we could not force a punt. We could not force a punt. Our defense was so atrocious the first half of the season, especially after Micah Parsons was gone, that we couldn't bust a grape. And a lot of that can be pointed to the injuries that took place before the season started at edge rusher. Well, this year we got a lot of guys at edge rusher, and Sam Williams is one of those guys who's got the size, he's got the strength, and he has the speed, or at least before the ACL he had the speed to be a great player. And I was looking for great things from him last year. Unfortunately, the ACL injury beginning of training camp derailed his season. So I still have high expectations, but of course, you are returning from an ACL. There is basically the time it takes to get back from there. Our 3rd round draft pick, Savon Rell. Here's where the Cowboys, being them boys, having their doctor being the one that did the surgery for Savon Rell, they got to have inside information on the player before the draft, because your guy is the one that did the operation. He's the one that said that Jalen Smith would play again, and was 100% right. So for the Cowboys to know from the doctor that he's going to be in great shape is reassuring. And he is still rehabbing. There's a video clip of him out on a treadmill running 21 miles an hour on that treadmill. He may, per Jerry, start on the PUP list for training camp, but their thinking is he will be ready to go for the season. May start on PUP list, but should be ready to start the season. Another great news story. And then there's Diggs, who we've seen him working out now. You know, of course, his workouts replaced Zeke Elliott's. And his workouts, he seemed to be coming along. But here's where Jerry Jones kind of says, you know, let's hope it's better than last time, which is letting you know, or putting him on notice, we weren't happy with what you did last go round. We weren't happy with what you did last go round, and we expect to see more. So he will probably start on PUP list as well to start training camp, but the hope is that he will be ready by the time the season starts. Then we've got Agent Zero. Agent Zero, who has the mentality that I want to be ready for week 1. That's his mentality, and that's the way he's working his ass off to try and get there to be on the field. The reality is he had a catastrophic knee injury. It wasn't just an ACL. It was ACL, MCL, and PCL. Complete rebuild of his knee. And that guy is a machine working to get back on the field. It would be damn near impossible for him to be ready to go at the beginning of the season. And in my mind, here's the thing is, sometimes you have to protect the player from themselves. And here's where you have to say to Overshown, buddy, let's take a little more time. Let's back this away from, let's get some extra strength on top of this thing and not force the issue to try and get back out there too soon. So that's the good news on the Dallas Cowboys, that the rehabs are going great. Alrighty, good people, as always, appreciate you.